And welcome back everyone, and I'm excited to do a trailer breakdown for The Challenge Season 39, Battle for a New Champion. So let's start off with a scene that we've seen in the earlier 20-second promo that was put out when the cast reveal was happening. And we can see that this is during a daily challenge where we'll see more context later on in this trailer, but we see a whole bunch of men trying to pull up this person, and it looks like they're working together as a team, possibly. And there's a ton of people here. It looks like there's Huey, there's Emmanuel, maybe Chauncey, a zoomed out version of this. And I believe this is Kieran because it looks like he is on the bottom trying to lift everyone up the wall. And now he is the last person to try to get up the wall for his specific team or heat. I have a feeling that this season will be run very similar to Season 31 Vendettas. And I'm not just saying that because that was a solo winner season and this too will be a one winner solo season as well. But it also looks like the daily challenges will be varied in a way that some will be in two teams, maybe multiple teams, or possibly pairs or solo. So we'll just see that as the trailer goes through. A new era of The Challenge is here. We get a very beautiful landscape view of what is Croatia as they are filming this in Croatia, the same place that The Challenge USA Season 2 was filmed, and we will see that it is the exact same house as well. This is what I think could be the first daily challenge of the season, as we can see that there are people in this giant wrecking ball. There is another orange wrecking ball, so it looks like there will be the blue team versus the orange team, as the people in the wrecking balls will be throwing out smaller balls to their teammates on the ground, and those teammates will then have to pick up the balls and scored in the other team's tube. As you can see that there are people placed at the top of the tube either scoring or maybe trying to play defense against the players trying to run up and dunk their balls. And we hear from TJ in a voiceover saying, "This is the season I've been waiting for." Season 39 is the season you've been waiting for. Very interesting. As we can see, here's a zoomed out view, more on the ground, and we can see there's a ton of people on the ground grabbing the balls that are being thrown out of the wrecking balls. And it looks like in the blue team, in the wrecking ball, we have Olivia, Michelle, James, and who I think is Berna. Now this is very interesting walk-up shot. As we can see that James and Big T are up at the front. We have Corey and Melissa falling up behind them, Ed and Mariah, Jay and Zara, Chauncey and Colleen. We also can see Kieran and Nerys in the background. It looks like Huey and Raven, Asaf and Huey, Olivia, and I believe Kylan. And then what I think is very interesting about this walk-up shot, it looks like the women are on our right-hand side, the men are on our left-hand side, but if you look at the very end of the women's line, there is a man walking behind all of them. What that signifies to me is that the women and the men are unequal in numbers, and possibly we have already lost a woman on the season. And the one woman that I don't see while we were passing through the line was Jessica. Maybe she just wasn't shown, maybe a man just decided to walk in the women's line, but I'm kind of worried that they kind of spoiled the first person to leave the season, as I counted 12 men and only really 11 or 10 women. But the one woman that I could not pick out for myself was Jessica from The Challenge Australia. Maybe I couldn't read the edit real well. We did leapfrog in the line at certain points, so maybe it's just a little bit off there. Something that really threw me off when watching this trailer was that in normal challenge trailers, TJ is the narrator, TJ has all the lines, and then we have the cast sprinkle in their own lines and quotes throughout the trailers. This is different because the person that speaks the most in this trailer is a woman's voice. It's like the MTV woman narrator. It's almost like an AI text-to-speech, it sounds like. And this voice says a lot of the lines that I feel like TJ would normally say. But the woman says, "For the first time ever, 24 contenders will take their turn to prove themselves. They've known battle, but never victory. But now they're back to win their very first championship." Then we get to see Corey, Emmanuel, and I think James wrestling in the mud with each other. This mud challenge is shown a lot throughout this trailer, so I think that this is going to be a very pinnacle challenge on this season, as well as there is a big like gasser tanker truck challenge that is also featured heavily throughout this trailer as well. This is also a very interesting challenge where it looks like there will be a couple of teams of 4 that will be having to face against each other, and you're gonna have to try to push this moving wall to try to push off your opponents off this giant pillar. I can't really tell from this angle or this lighting who is doing this challenge, but clearly on this angle, we can see that Horacio is doing this challenge on this side. We get a giant rig with ladders, and it looks super tall, hanging over water. And we also have some ropes and harnesses that will be used in this challenge, as well as we get a little sneak peek of possibly what these challengers are gonna have to do. My thought is that these challengers are going to be hanging from these ropes, and they're going to have to try to hold on for dear life, as maybe somebody from a different team will be going up to each level and trying to unhook them and try to make them fall off. That is a huge guess on my part, because I have no idea what could be happening in this challenge or who is doing this challenge. The only close person I can see doing this challenge is maybe Colleen or Melissa, as we see somebody filming from underneath the water to seeing another competitor falling into the water off of this contraption. And I can see long blonde hair on this person as they're falling into the water, and to me that instantly screams either Colleen or Melissa. This looks to be a very interesting night daily challenge, as I'm counting all of the headlamps, and I kept counting up to 16. We even see some flames in the background. What's the challenge without a little pyrotechnics, am I right? It's hard to tell who is doing this challenge. I can see possibly Zara, Colleen, Ed, Olivia. I can definitely see Olivia, maybe James, Emmanuel, maybe Nerese. It's really, really difficult. Maybe Corey in the far back. Then we hear from Olivia saying, I came here to become a champ, so if I have to stab you in the back, I'll do what I need to. As we can see, this Mud Pit Daily Challenge, where we have Nerese jumping into the water as Zara is about to grab a ball. And then I think on the far right, we can see Mariah jumping in as well. Olivia is also doing this challenge, and I think that's Michelle jumping in after her, but it's really hard to tell with all the mud on her face. And then Olivia is wrestling this ball, trying to keep it away from Raven and Colleen, who is also doing this Mud Pit Daily Challenge. We hear from Horacio saying, this time, I'm here to win. I have no doubt you're here to win, Horacio, as this is taken before that Wrecking Ball challenge, the challenge battle for a new champion. This looks wild. It looks like giant pyramids hanging up in the air, and then players are having to traverse from one side to the other, maybe using pegs, and then having to grab onto a rope, swing to another pyramid. And we can see Olivia is jumping and is caught by Jay on the other side. At some point we hear somebody say, I deserve to be a champion. To me, the voice wasn't recognizable. I was worried about that coming into a trailer breakdown, that with these players being somewhat new players, we haven't seen them on a ton of seasons before, that at certain points, the voices are going to like fall away from me, especially if I've only seen their season once. I think that this could be a paired daily challenge, and 2 players will be paired up on either side, and they're going to be spinning around and around, trying to grab the rings as they're passing by the top. I couldn't tell who was on the left-hand side, the woman on the left-hand side, but I can tell that the person on the right-hand side is Asaf, and Asaf is all over this trailer. All over. He is everywhere. So that's somebody, like I mentioned, right here, in this scene right here, he's about to yell into the camera, meaning I think that the blue team wins at least this round, if not the challenge, because he looks extremely excited. As we can see, Horacio is up at the top of the orange tower, kind of out of breath. He took his helmet off, it looks like. So to me, I think that the game is done, or at least this heat is done, and the blue team has won. And this is our first opportunity to see the confessional room, the green screen confessional room with Chauncey. This, I hope, is not the official confessional room, because this looks like something from ESPN background when they're about to put the stats up of like, how much has Dak Prescott thrown picks in the last 5 weeks, or how This looks so sports channel-esque that it's like, please do not keep pushing that this is America's fifth sport. This is a reality TV show. Ugh. But anyways, Chauncey is in here saying, I don't have time for games. I think you have all the time in the world there, Chauncey. Just play the game because the challenge is the game. Here we are back at the moving wall daily challenge, as we can see that Corey, I believe Olivia, as well as Emmanuel are all on one team, and Horacio and what looks to be Berna is all on one team as well. With two other players, a timer is ticking down saying 3, and we can see a still frame of that one challenge of Kieran trying to push somebody up the wall. 2, Jay looks to be doing a mud pit and not doing so well. 1, this looks like a caveman painting. I know that this is the players in the water swimming and they try to make it look very stylistic. It looks like a painting on a caveman's wall. And 0, double 0. TJ comes in with a huge twist. He's talking in front of the tanker truck. So I wonder, when he's telling us that there is one catch, and then it shows all the champs coming into the elimination, and to be a champ, you have to beat a champ. I wonder if that twist is coming in later, that the first couple of eliminations may be the contenders versus each other, and then they'll throw a curveball at a certain point, because there's only 10 champs, right? So that's a max of 10 eliminations. So I wonder if at a certain point they'll have, for the first couple of weeks, some contenders going up against each other, and then after like 2 or 3 eliminations of contenders going after each other, then they'll bring in the champs during this daily challenge of the giant gas tank trucker challenge. But TJ does say, with one catch, they'll have to beat a champion to become a champion, and then we hear CT laughing and shocked faces as CT is coming into the elimination with a flail. I hope that that will not be used, that he brought that for dramatic purposes. I'm sure he did, but it's really funny to see him coming in with a flail and like smashing it into the sand. I believe that this could be either Tori or Laurel. I will say, I'm actually very shocked that Tori was not really shown at all in this trailer. For how many seasons Tori has done in a row, how much they have pushed Tori to be sort of like the almost face of the program, that she really didn't get any screen time in this trailer. I wonder if that's for us or for another reason, but I think that this is Laurel walking onto the elimination arena floor. Kaz smiling in the dark. Devin is also being shown here. Casey, Brad and Tori, I should say. Brad and Tori were not shown at all in this trailer, which is pretty surprising. Almost as surprised as what Emmanuel looks like, as Emmanuel is in his orange jersey, Kyland is in the blue jersey, and they both look very perplexed. Here we see Laurel doing a chain elimination. Can't tell exactly what's going on, but I'm sure that there are a ton of chains, and you have to undo them and then put them in specific orders. Laurel in the confessional saying, if you want to win this game, you'll have to go through a champ unless you just stay out of eliminations, right? Unless there is a rule that says you have to go into elimination and beat a champ to qualify for TJ's finals, why can't you just not go into elimination and then you can just make it to the finals without ever having to go up against a champ? Unless there is a rule saying you have to go in, get a gold skull, get a key, or whatever, and you have to face a champ to be qualified for the finals. If that rule's not in there, then you don't technically have to go against a champ to make it to a final or anything like that. But maybe there is a rule. This looks to be an interesting challenge, as it looks like there are 2 ramps and the players are having to run back and forth and have to press the buttons. And it looks like this elimination is coming down to a nail biter. And I think we're kind of spoiled in who is in this elimination. It looks like this person in here is fully tatted up. I think that this is Kieran, and this player, I would have to say, is probably a champ with the gold shoes, like CT was wearing gold shoes, so maybe the champs are all wearing gold shoes, or maybe it's just a coincidence, but if this is a champ, this is not Brad, as they do not have a giant beard. This is not CT clearly, this is not Darrell clearly, and this doesn't look to be Devin. And I think the helmet is very blurred, but the helmet looks to be starting with a J. And not only that, but once this scene is over, Jordan has a confessional saying, "We will not take it easy, and we will run you into the ground for fun." So could this be Kieran versus Jordan in a very close elimination battle? This elimination right here reminds me of the Smash House elimination. A structure hanging above the ground, high above the ground, and all made of glass, and it looks like the last thing you have to do is smash the bottom. To me, that screams Smash House elimination. So maybe they are bringing back a classic Smash House elimination, and it looks like whatever happens in this elimination is also a nail biter, as we can see Raven and Melissa are screaming. Horacio is having to turn away. Asaf does not look very happy about this elimination results. I can't tell whose butts belong to which players, but it looks like two women are going to be doing some pole wrestling against each other. And the way that they are dressed, it makes me believe that these are two contenders pole wrestling each other or doing some sort of elimination against each other. Great use of blur, I will say, by the editing team for this trailer. I do feel like the contenders and the champs will be wearing different outfits to discern during the eliminations. It'll be easier for the audience to watch the eliminations. So I think that this could be early on that two contenders will be fighting each other in a pole wrestle. Cara in a confessional going in right before the elimination and saying, "Do you want to make it to the final?" We have Darrell getting ready for his elimination, which looks quite interesting as we'll get into it. But Darrell is looking on, sweating. Maybe he just finished up his elimination, or maybe that fire is just really, really hot. Here's the elimination that I think Darrell will be facing off against. And this is a rhythm elimination where you have all of these pots. I think they have 8 pots on 8 arms, and you have to get into a rhythm of having the pots move in a way to catch fire from this torch that is hanging off here. So you're trying to move the whole rig while also trying to find the rhythm to get the pots when it's moving towards the fire to pick itself up and to actually catch on fire. Looks super interesting. Looks like a fun puzzle / physical elimination, endurance elimination. We have the voiceover lady saying legends will fall, as we see Colleen getting strangled in the mud pit by Melissa here. I just remember back in the day in Vendettas, Melissa was very rough with Sylvia in that oil pit trying to get that ball and try to win that elimination. We can see that it looks like Emmanuel is trying to wrestle for a ball against Ed here in the mud pit. As we can see, that's clearly Emmanuel, and that is clearly Ed on each other's helmets. Asaf whistles and says, "Let's go, baby." A new era of champions will rise. And here we go. This is from the very first scene, the very first still from this trailer, as we can clearly see that when I counted everybody, it seemed like there was at least 18 people I could count doing this challenge. It looks like they're trying to grab these sticks to create and finish a puzzle that's on the opposite side of this treacherous tough mutter. It looks like there is water, there are balls, there look to be puzzle pieces, and we can clearly see Horacio, Kyland, James, and Asaf are all doing this challenge as well. This is why I said clearly they're in the same house as the Challenge USA 2, because it is. They're just going to change some of the wallpaper. They're going to put up maybe some new art decorations, but we can see Nerys, Jay, and Olivia, and Nerys is saying they have no reason to bother you if it wasn't for her. So somebody is causing some drama around the house, but this is like the only house drama we see in this trailer. There is nothing else. Everything else is based around eliminations or daily challenges, and that's it. At least with USA 2, we got to see some people getting in each other's faces. Fessel and Josh were shown to be like in an argument with each other, even though they never showed it on the season. They showed it in the trailer being like, hey, there's drama on this season. No, there isn't. And they're not even trying to hide drama by showing it in the trailer and then never showing it in the actual show. They're just being like, well, who cares about house drama? we're going to show eliminations and daily challenges more than ever. Kyland is in elimination where he is trying to put numbered balls in a tube, and somehow he finds a 10, so maybe that's worth a lot of points. And here is a touchstone daily challenge, as this is a challenge gas tanker truck, and it is swerving back and forth on this tarmac runway, and I think this will be run in pairs, as it looks like one person will be diving into the tanker truck filled with water and other debris, and they're trying to find tablets to then hand to their partner who is trying to descramble a word on the back of the truck. And it looks like challenge champion. Raven will be doing this challenge, as this challenge looks to be kind of dangerous. I mean, last time we saw everybody in Challenge 38, they were in a bus filled with balls and they were getting swerved back and forth. Hopefully they have a better time underwater, but I think I would be a little bit nervous doing this challenge as well. We can see these two people doing the night daily challenge, and I think this night daily challenge will be possibly another mini final in the nighttime. I can clearly see the person who is in the orange light has a full beard, so I wonder if this is Ed. I think I saw Ed during the run start with the fire, so it wouldn't surprise me if this is Ed in the orange paddling. We have Asaf saying, "I will fight for you, and you know that." He looks to be in a tailgate parking lot for a college football game. There's an unknown voice that I could not recognize that says, "The house is definitely divided," which sounds exciting. I hope that there is a division in alliances and in power to make this a little bit more exciting from a strategic game point, as well as there is another voice that says, "Every friendship, every alliance, everything you have is about to be tested." And for some reason, I couldn't tell who this voice is, an American man voice, but it did not have a distinct accent or anything to that. Like, if Ed said it, I could definitely pick out his, like, Pennsylvanian accent. But other than that, I don't know who this person could be that says, "Every friendship, every alliance, everything you have is about to be tested." As we can see, I counted about 14 people in this frame. There could be a whole bunch of other people kind of running around this field, but it looks like they're trying to pull each other in like a tug of war type of way. I have no idea what could be going on here, but there's a ton of people here. As we can see, I think that Zara, Corey, James, Big T, clearly, I think Ed, Horacio, Nerys, Raven is all here, but there are about 14 people at minimum doing this challenge. We're back to the mud daily challenge where we can see Melissa and Nerys are fully mudded up and they are waiting to go on to the next round. This daily challenge is heights over water, and it looks like they're doing the run log challenge where at least they gave them ropes. They have to run on the log and just hold on for dear life, it looks like. As we can see, there's a good amount of people doing this one, and it looks like, I want to say Colleen possibly falls off and is dropping into the water, and when she gets close enough to the water and is about to actually hit the water, it looks like there's a few other people already in the water that has fallen off from doing this challenge as well. This looks to be kind of interesting, very simple, but kind of interesting. TJ is saying something that is shocking Berna here. This looks pretty early on, as there is a ton of people online. As we can see, Melissa, Colleen, Berna, Chauncey, Kieran, Zara, Olivia, Nerys, possibly Raven, Jay is in the background. So there's a lot of people in this lead up time here. And this is what I think is Darrell's elimination, to move in rhythm to hit that fireball. And at some points we hear from Jordan saying the game is completely different. And then that's it. We get the end card that says The Challenge Battle for a New Champion, Wednesday, October 25th, 8 p.m., new season. Also, they failed to mention that there is a launch special happening a week prior on October 18th, that Wednesday at 8 p.m. So please just remember, on October 18th, there is a launch special, episode 0, where all the contenders will be moving into the house, as well as we'll get a little bit of sneak peeks of the daily challenges, eliminations, and all these different twists and everything. So remember, October 18th is a launch special, episode 0, and then the premiere episode, episode 1, will be happening October 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then at the end, TJ says, watch on MTV. But that is it for the trailer breakdown for The Challenge 39 Battle for a New Champion. What do you think about this trailer? Let me know down in the comment section below. Did this get you more excited about the season? Did it make you more confused? Did it seem a little boring? Are you wondering where all the house drama is? Because I'm kind of wondering that myself. I know I read an article from the showrunner saying that this is possibly one of the most serious installments of the series, and they're really pushing heavy into the sports format of the show. I hope that's not the case, because this has and always will be a reality TV show over a sporting event. This will never be a sporting event, no matter how hard you try. But what do you think about this trailer? Let me know down in the comment section below. What daily challenge or elimination got you the most excited? Who from the trailer did you not see at all? Like I said, didn't see that much of Jessica. I didn't see that much of Brad or Tori at all, so maybe it doesn't work out for any of those players. But who are you excited to see play on this season, and who are you excited to see but didn't see in this trailer, and that gets you a little bit worried about what's going to happen to them on the season? Let me know anything and everything down in the comment section below. I want to give a special shout out thank you to everyone who supports me over at patreon.com/angelcakevids. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to everyone who is watching this video up to this point. I'll be back really, really soon with more Challenge 39 content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.